Oh, do you want to meet my dog?
Sure. What's his name?
Her name is Mooncake. Mooncake.
Mooncake.
Yeah,
Oh, so sweet.
she just always bother me a lot. Like she come all the time. Like when I was sitting on the table, she wanted me holding her.
Uh, is it a French bulldog?
Yeah, yeah,
They are like they are very. I heard that a kind of friend of mine had like French bulldog, and she said that he couldn't go to the sleep um, unless unless she's beside her.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, she always like sleeping in the bed with me. Yeah, that's what she
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
they're like children.
Yeah. Which city you live in?
I live in Tallinn, the capital of Estonia.
Uh-huh. It's
But I,
kind of it's kind of like close to the Norway or Finland, right?
from the north, it's yes, it's very close to Finland.
Yeah.
From the east, it's close to St. Petersburg, Russia.
Yeah.
And
Is that means like you have a longer winter, like a day, like a nighttime right now, like it getting dark fast?
yeah, yeah, it's getting dark in 4 p.m. But now
Mm.
the day started growing,
Mm-hmm.
and like 2 minutes we have the next every next day we will have the 2 minutes
2 minutes more.
of minutes more like daylight.
Yeah.
Yes, but in 24th of December, uh, it's the darkest. The day is
That's
very short, like 3 p.m. And it's dark.
that's very interesting.
It's -10 for now, and it will be -20. They said this
Yeah.
week.
Well, my in-law is from St. Petersburg. She's grew up there. I also from like I went to college in like really close to Russian in China. So I remember in the winter it was like a -30 degrees. It was kind of crazy. When you go outside, it's just everything's kind of cold. And right now in New York, we have this big storm gonna come about again. And everybody was like, "Oh, it's so cold." I was like, "Oh, it's kind of warm. Doesn't really feel
Is
that
it
cold."
10 of warmth? Plus
Huh?
10? Is it plus 10 in New York?
New York right now is I think it's around like 1 or 2 right now. It's not that cold. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's
Oh, that's
cold, but not that cold. But New York is
mild.
always not really too cold. Yeah.
You are originally from China.
I'm from China, yeah.
I googled you a bit.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh, and how do you like to live in New York after China?
I feel like that's a huge difference because when I was in China, I wasn't doing anything about art. I was an artist. So I actually moved to the US for grad school in art. And then that's how everything started. And I was living in New York for right now, like 6 years, actually. It's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of become to part of my life right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And whom are you working, or what did you study in China?
I was I studied journalism, so I was
Mm-hmm.
working as a journalist for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I started to kind of it was kind of interesting topic because when I was in China, a lot of things were working in the um, newspaper or like a journalism field. I think a lot of things being pretty limited. Like your voice was being controlled and certain things you cannot say or publish. I think that's kind of one of the reasons I was trying to find another form to kind of continue in the way. I think that is also part of my art practice as well.
Yeah, I understand. When I was studying in St. Petersburg, in very conservative academy there, it's very famous in China, among China. I don't know if you know it. It's a Repin State Academy. A lot of Chinese people were studying there. Like 30% of students were from China, and and I lived in dormitory for students, and it's called like for international, but the 99% of international words like China, Chinese, yes, and yeah, I was like living and cooking and all together.
Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting because it kind of brings the history of China, because since like 1940s, like when we become the communism country, and I think everything was trying to copy what the Soviet Union and the Russian do, and it kind of continued in that way. So a lot of this traditional art form, like paintings and also dancing, opera, theater, and all these kind of things are, you know, still in Russian, are still ahead of everybody because they have a very deep roots for histories too.
Why did you decide to participate in this project? Was it the collaboration aspect, the New York aspect?
I think it's kind of interesting questions too. I feel especially past the 2020 was kind of crazy. You've been stuck in home, you cannot meet anybody, your friend, and it was very limited. And in that way, I feel like you kind of more and more get used to how to have meetings or communicate with people through the Zoom or online. And then you kind of relies on that a lot, because otherwise you go crazy because you are just one person at home. You need something to grab you down to the ground. So I think that's one of the reason. And also another part of the reason was I always interested to working with artists from Europe, because I was trying to move to Europe this year, last year to 2020. I was in the final round of the Rix Academy, but I cannot really go there because my partner is going to grad school in here. It's just more complicated because also the green card, like when you in US, you got a green card, you cannot really travel over 6 months every year. So that's kind of a huge limitation. I cannot really do what I really want in Europe. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to kind of communicate with the Europe and see what the artists are doing there, you know.
But you're planning to go to Europe also, or in the end?
No. Well, yeah, hopefully we can still go there after 2 years and see how that goes. Yeah. So do you find yourself utilizing any aspects of the digital for your practice?
Yes, especially this time. When I had my last project, I was planned to cooperate with some Russian performer, and we couldn't meet because of these restrictions. So we started just to make this Zoom meetings and all this, like working on the project. So maybe for me it's interesting, and I love this taste of copywriting because for me recently, when I made this cooperation, it was very fruitful and interesting. I think to expand the boundaries and to break the boundaries or to fly over the boundaries via like kind of digitalizing or virtual reality is a kind of opportunity to to grow over.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. And I think that's a very interesting topic to go delve into, like the copywriting. And I'm also very interested in that kind of perspective too, because I was thinking about this project for a long time to kind of see what is the difference between original then copies, and also resembles, like what is the difference and then connections between them too.
How do you see your work either intersecting or taking cues from digital, virtual media? Intersecting.
Mm. I think in this point, my older work not really do too much with the digital era, to be honest. But right now, I think in a way is I'm trying to do something kind of related with people, like kind of gather towards to a communities, or more like can gather people around. I think in that way, social media or like a digital way, it is the way to go, especially right now we have the restrictions, cannot really go outside. How has the pandemic affect either negatively or positively your communication with others?
It's both. It's both because when it was the first of pandemic, how to say, wave, like
The
period.
first wave, yeah.
Yeah. So I have a little son, and at that period he was 2 years old, and we quit going to the kindergarten because the panic, oh my god, and so on. So I was locked in my house, in my flat, with him, and it was and at the same time I was doing my solo show project, so I was working at nights because in the daytime you cannot afford to do anything because child grab your attention all the time.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult for me, and um, when my husband like we changed, for example, and I felt a relief when I went in the night or in the late evenings out from the flat, just to feel the air and to feel the space and to feel myself in the space, like to be a little bit alone, because
Yeah.
like everyone was talking that it's kind of being crazy, being lost
Yeah,
and alone. But I was like, wow, now I can feel myself, that I exist, that
yeah,
I am alone. I just wanted to like to feel myself.
yeah,
So for me, it was a very hard period, especially I was, as I said, I had a big production of my solo show.
yeah. That's
So
very stressful.
yeah, it was very stressful. Yes. Um, so yeah, and I didn't want to communicate with no one.
Well, I totally get that because sometimes I feel I have this similar situation with you, and the apartment is very small. Then at a certain point, I just feel like I want to be alone and then nobody talking to me for like an
Mm,
hour, like no dog,
mm,
nobody, just want to
mm,
sitting there doing my thing. Yeah,